What? Why is this? Alright, that was weird. What's cracking, y'all? How do I remove this for now? Do. Where's my lives? Let's see how a random Friday night live goes here. Just changing my thumbnail real quick. There it is. What's crack-a-lackin'? What's going on? What's going on? Guys, what's up, Blaine? We got Blaine in the house. Bro, what time is it? It's 5:30, 6:30. It's 8:30 in New York, bro. Why aren't you out partying? Why aren't you out partying, huh? How's my audio sound, y'all? I'm on the new Blazar Mantis 25mm. I love the Arls. I did a video on them. I'm assuming that's why you're asking. Everything I said in that little overview, my thoughts aren't going to be any different. Yep. Arilog C has been interesting. I've been using it nonstop since it came out. It really hasn't been a game changer. It does help with workflow because you don't have to worry about color space transformer and try to mix and match and stuff. It really does make the workflow easier. Yeah, how does my audio sound here? Sounds great. Okay, I'm just keeping the mic down right below me, so hopefully it sounds proper. I could turn it up if I need to. Uh-oh. Lee's starting trouble. So, again, we're on the Blackmagic Pixis with the Blazar Mantis 25mm. This is probably some of the first footage that you guys are seeing from this Blazar Mantis. Let's, where's my flashlight? Where's my YouTuber flashlight? This is the first time I'm even seeing these anamorphic flares. That Starburst flare, that could be from the Mofage Poco Rare VND. Rare VNDs do cause some extra flaring, so it's kind of hard to sometimes know what the difference is. But yeah, those are, I feel like those are silver flares. Those should be silver flares. Are they not silver anymore? Let's see. Ooh, is this an amber flare one? What the fuck? Huh. I'm gonna have to ask for a silver or blue flare. I'm not a fan of amber flares. So yeah, Talba and I went halves on a lens. My bad. I did go to the desert today. I need to switch that focusing side. And I got this. This is a MS Optics. I guess it's a retired lens maker, designer. And now he just hand makes random lenses by himself. So this is one of them. I actually got it for a decent price, knowing that history behind it. I have no idea how old this lens is, but yeah, you guys can see this thing is gorgeous. It's an f2.28mm, but I don't know if that's what Brandon was talking about, but we'll save that for another time. Yeah, it's amber flare. Brandon, I saw F1 yesterday, and it really woke me up. After I saw F1, I deleted threads. I really, it got me really focused. like, just watching that movie, every time I see a movie that I absolutely love, it reminds me, like, why I got started and all this shit. Hence, today's live. I'm talking about a freaking feature-length documentary that I made, and I never really shared it on the channel. There's a lot of stuff from before I was full-time on YouTube that I did that I just never really shared or talked about ever. I'm just not the type of person to really, you know, I don't like, Jesus, dog hair everywhere. I'm not the type of person that would just sit around and just like talk about things I've done and accomplished and blah, blah, blah. If I am talking about myself, it's usually mental health, ADHD type stuff, which I'm sure is even more annoying than someone, you know, being braggadocious. Yeah, it was weird. Just I got out of the movie without discussing too much of our personal life. My ex-girlfriend, there's a lot of stuff that goes along with mental health stuff, and it sucks, you know. It is what it is, but just a lot of noise in the world between like politics and just like the online world and just yada yada yada. And so, you know, I'm at the age where I'm locked in. I'm about to be 35, and I'm locked the fuck in. But yeah, so regarding the mini doc that I did, so Thomas, it's been out. It's been out for like 2 or 3 years now. All right, I think 2 years now. You guys can find it on Apple TV and Amazon Prime. Again, I just never really talked about it for a couple of reasons. One, I'm incredibly proud to have finished it, but I'm not proud of the quality. Now, normal people, when they watched it, they all say it looked beautiful and that it was beautiful. But any of us here who, you know, our community is just a lot of like, you know, we focus in on the gear and all the bullshit that doesn't really matter. But for that doc, I literally used several, I think I used like 4 to 5 different cameras. I used a Sony FX6, a Sony A7 or A7R5. I used a Canon R5C. And then I also used, what was the other thing I used? There's another camera I used. So I use all those different cameras. I use all sorts of different autofocus lenses. And I even used the Greatjoy 50 millimeter for the Arizona portion. Ooh, sorry, big burp. For the Arizona portion of the mini doc. So on a small screen, it looked fine, but we had a premiere in an actual theater, like a full-on premiere, like with a full-on audience, like it was packed. And I saw every fucking mistake, every mistake. Shout out to Nick Rubino. He's the guy who edited it all together. It took me a full year to film it, but in total there was maybe like 8 days of filming. So it was just me, my dog right behind me over here, Sedona. We were on the road for weeks and weeks and weeks, traveling around for it, and yeah, it was a shit show to get done, but it got done. Yeah, it's about Indigenous cowboys. You know, throughout my life, my commercial career, I did a lot of like the Western fashion stuff before it was trendy. And as I was getting trendy, I was still doing it, but slowly was falling out of love of producing work like that. But I'm blessed to have a lot of experience and memories from that. But with that, I've garnered a lot of connections and friends and family and, you know, special people that I could call friends. And so Warner Music approached me to do this, and it was for an artist named Ian Munsick, who's now a homie of mine as well. And yeah, so I produced and directed a music video for him. I won't say what the budget is, but I think some people on here would think it's a lot, but I think people from that world would think it's chump change, because it was chump change for what we did. But anyways, how it all happened, this is why I was kind of flustered about it, and I just haven't really talked about it. I was originally approached to write and direct the music video, and then there was going to be a little bit of an insert either in the middle, towards the end, or a spin-off of like a 5 to 10 minute mini doc. Well, after I got home from doing that music video, Warner called me up and was like, hey, so we heard the edit's going to be done soon, and we heard it's going to be like 45 minutes long. I was like, what? No, like, what the fuck? No, like, I filmed 2 days. After like 2 days of filming for the music video, I went out for another 2 days, for a week in total, to film for a mini doc. And so I was like, what the fuck? No, like, we never talked about that. Where's this coming from? But also, I found it as an opportunity to get this done. The crazy part was, though, I paid for everything up front. They would have definitely covered flights and stuff. But at that time, I was so overflying. For commercial work, I was taking multiple flights a week. And I hate flying. Hang on, guys. Oh yeah. I Instacarted some more ranch water. I forgot what it was called for a second. I gotta show my ID, though, for them to hand it over. Give me 2 seconds. We got 66 people hanging out in here on a Friday night. This is dope. This is dope. Give me 1 second, y'all, then we'll go back in. If you have any questions about any part of the process, again, it's a feature-length documentary. It's on Apple TV. It's on Amazon Prime. Okay, give me 1 second. All right, y'all. That dude was tall, guys. That dude was like 7 foot. Huh? Also got Amazon package. Let's see what's in here. Don't want to show my address. It's poop bags for Sedona. She don't care. And I like an M11 screen protector. Okay, hang on. Sorry, guys. Let me put this in the fridge. Alright, I'm back. I'm sorry. Quick little note. This company, Lone River, when they came out with this new flavor, the blackberry, they sent me a full-on care package to try it out. So, again, I got connected with them from the Western industry. Like, I would be backstage a lot for country concerts and stuff, and different fashion shoots and all that. You just start meeting people like crazy and, you know, getting opportunities. So, where was I? Where did I leave off at? That's a good question. The documentary is called Voices of the West, White Buffalo. Homie, I haven't spoken to you in years. You're in Asia now? Okay, so, yeah, so, again, Warner approached me, was like, hey, we heard the 45-minute cut was going to be done. I was like, what the fuck? Like, we never discussed a 45-minute cut. So I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I was like, that's not what was originally planned, but I guess that's what we're doing now. And so I was like, guys, I need more time. Like, way more time. And I was like, can you guys at least give me like 6 months? So at that point, like another couple months have passed. And so in total, it took about almost a year from start to finish. But I think there was maybe like 8 total days of actual filming. And the rest of it was travel and logistics. And oh my God, just like a kind of a nightmare. I was out there by myself and my dog. Sedona was going on the road with me to different ranches across the country, mainly in the West. But it was so fun. I feel like I grew so much as a person, as a creative, as a filmmaker, and I feel like I really found my purpose doing that. So even though, I'm not super proud of the quality results, I'm super proud of the overall project because the message in it was important. Because, when it comes to Indigenous people, I don't think a lot of people really think about us. And if they do think about us, it's probably a lot of stereotypes. And so this doc just highlights Indigenous cowboys. Like, they're all my close friends, and just being able to hang out and film them and show people the truth and the reality that, we're still here, we're still living, and a lot of us are doing dope shit. And so when I started to do more YouTube, this is the whole point of me doing YouTube. Now the past year has been difficult because as I found more success through YouTube, on YouTube-wise, a lot of other opportunities come with that, but they're like YouTuber opportunities. So after Build, I pretty much decided that, it was fun for the past year, just, getting to experience the YouTuber life. But I'm ready to dip out, guys. So even like Sony Kondo, invites went out for that. I declined it. Nothing against Sony, but more so just like, going on all these YouTuber trips and stuff. It's exhausting. It sucks up a lot of time. And that's not why I got started on YouTube. So, but anyways, the doc. So after filming was done, I found an editor, and oh my God, he made the project. Without him, it would have gotten done, but I don't think it would have gotten done in such a concise way. And so, I've even during that process, I learned with my ADHD that like I'm a very chaotic, spastic person when it comes to filming, and I will get everything filmed that I need to get filmed, but everybody who's not my brain looks at it of like, what the fuck is this? And so I learned the process with Nick is just sitting down and explaining my thoughts, just like vomiting out all of my ideas on why I chose certain shots and filmed certain things, and learning again from ADHD brain, learning how to put your brain on paper. That's what Nick Rubino, that's his name, really taught me during that collaboration period. So after so many Zoom meetings and phone calls, he understood the project. And he's not Indigenous, and he knew nothing about that world. So while he was editing it, I was really excited because I even told him, sometimes it's hard for me to keep that curiosity of what people want to know. And so if you have any questions or anything like that, please don't feel dumb. Don't be scared. If you think it's like a question you should ask, please just ask it anyways. So even during that process, we started filming we started editing before filming was totally done. And so as he was asking me certain questions, I was able to include more of that into the shots. The process of filming it by myself was incredibly difficult. But again, I didn't have any budget up front. I got paid out on the back end, but it was barely anything. I don't want to disclose it because obviously this has to do with Warner Music, which is a giant fucking corporation. And big music artist and talent who are now in movies and stuff. So, I can't disclose certain information of privacy reasons. But what I got paid out with, you know, after all the money I spent myself, I didn't make that much money. I don't even know if I made money. So it was purely a passion project. Now, originally, I did not know it was going to go to fucking Apple TV and Amazon Prime. I did not know that. If I would have known that, oh my God, I would have forced myself to put in way more effort, even more than I already did. I would have forced myself to hire an assistant at least to come help me film. So yeah, anyways, again, we had a big premiere for it. Packed movie theater. It was in a proper movie theater. It was in Vegas during the NFR, or not NFR, the NFR. I was thinking about the INFR. Packed audience, giant freaking movie screen, and holy shit, anytime the Canon and Sony lenses missed focus and like pumped and rack, just a tiny bit, a micro bit, on a big theater movie screen, oh my God, you see every fucking mistake. And when we finalized it, delivered it, and sent all the packs out to the theater and stuff, you know, I didn't see that when looking on a laptop. I couldn't see any of that. And I even played it back on TV screens and movie screens because it was done for a few months before we premiered it. And you don't see any of those mistakes. You don't see any of those hiccups. It's wild. And so definitely I learned that if you're going to do a feature-length documentary, no matter what is against you, no matter how hard it is, you need to make sure it's getting done properly. And so autofocus lenses are great and all, but I think if I did it again, I would stick purely to manual focus lenses. I would probably stick to cinema cameras. Well, in this day and age, I think like the Lumix S1 II would work just fine, but I would maybe use the Blackmagic Pixis 12K just because it's such a freaking versatile and easily riggable camera. And then as a Lumix S1 II for a backup. That's what I would do now. But again, I used an R5C with some RF lenses. I use a Sony A7R5, a Sony FX6. And did I use a Z? No, I don't think I used a Z cam. There's another camera I use. I don't remember though. But aside from that, I used some Sony G Master lenses. I used their 16-35 at one point. They're 70-200. They're 100-400. And then I also used the Great Joy 50 millimeter. If you guys don't know, Blazar bought out Great Joy. So Blazar basically still makes Great Joy lenses if they're even still manufacturing those. They're great lenses. But yeah, let's go back to the chat. Yeah, so again, it was over a year. I was maybe on the road for like a split of like 3 to 6 months, if that makes sense. A lot of car camping even. It was wild because again, I was just so fucking overflying and I had so much gear with me and I was by myself. And it was while I was living in Austin, Texas, and I didn't have a dog sitter. And so I was like, I'm just going to drive, enjoy the adventure, take my dog with me. And yeah, again, it was like a total of 8 days of filming, but a lot of days in between all of that, going back and forth. So when I lived in Austin, I only lived there for like 9 months. And half of that time I lived in Austin, I was on the road. And it was for that project. And it was also for a handful of other projects as well. I was doing some other jobs here and there, commercial, like Western jobs. Again, it's called White Buffalo Voices of the West. Dang, bro. You can't sleep or what? So I just shared the lens. Was it more or less? More or less what? Did I miss something? What did I miss? I don't know what you're regarding. Darion, it's out. It's been out for a couple of years. I appreciate it, bud. Hey, broski, you just bought me. That just paid for my drinks. I appreciate it. Thank you, brother. Okay, guys, it's called Voices of the West on Apple TV and Amazon Prime. Yep, there you go. Yeah, broski. Also, Jericho, I'm going to text you back. I tried calling you. No, guys, Peter McKinnon's fucking dope. Pete is a real one. Be nice. Would be cooler to get a hold of that 70K for the next big project. Stack the landscape could really show off that sensor. Yeah, the 17K is overkill. But I think that one has the same, what is it, the RGB sensor, or whatever the hell they're calling it. If I was able to do a full sensor readout and a lower resolution, I think that would be sick. But I think the vertical height is shorter than actual full frame. So if I was to use anamorphics, I don't know if that sensor would be great for me. Bro, the new Leica is amazing. The black paint really gets me out there shooting more. And it matches my Leica MP too. So even more so, this feels like a proper film camera in my hand. But yeah, again, absolutely love this. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any other questions on the dock. It was incredibly fun. Yeah, again, the biggest lessons I learned from it is just like, that shit was hard. It was a lot of work. It took a whole team. Even though I was out there by myself doing it all, there were still producers helping me get it all together. There was a full team out in Nashville, really putting the puzzle pieces together. But once you're out there, it's a totally different story. So they kind of left it all up to me to like tell, not my own story, but the story I wanted to craft. So they put a lot of trust for how big they were planning on pushing it. And again, I did not know they're going to push it out to streaming platforms. And so that's a hard part because, again, the story's there. The story's solid. It's great. The documentary serves its purpose. But the quality behind it is just, I'm not the proudest of the quality. But again, in order for me to grow, you got to go out there and do things. That's the only way to like really learn is by doing. And so I learned a lot from that. Now the way I'm kind of treating life, I guess we'll call it, here on YouTube is all the brand partnerships that I'm building. It's purely I am trying to utilize this platform to do more of those projects. I've already went out, filmed another Indigenous mini doc. I've not had time to edit it though, and it's killing me that I haven't edited that thing yet. I do have time. Something Three Feathers told me, he's a amazing artist, Jeremy Three Feathers, that's his name. He said, don't be busy, be productive. I want to get that tattooed on me because I was like, fuck. Like that hit me to my core hearing that. But yeah, so here through YouTube, I'm utilizing all these brand partnerships and trying to grow our community here and showcase more filmmaking stuff. And, obviously, like kind of the way I've been going about videos is dressing them up as like gear reviews. I don't even call them gear reviews because they're not reviews. If it's a gear review, to me, a gear review is you own the piece of gear for 6 to 12 months. You've used it like crazy and it's sponsored, not by the brand. That's like a review. We all fucking know that. But when it's a sponsored video, we're being paid to showcase the gear, to do an overview of the gear. Personally, me, I only do it with gear that I actually like and care about and want to use. Because the reality is, there's only, 10 to 12 hours in the day to get shit done, and then the rest you have to sleep and shit and drink coffee and blah, blah, blah. Life is limited. We don't have enough, a lot of time on this planet. And so I'm not about to waste 1 minute talking about some piece of shit gear that I don't care about. So that's the hard part, is positioning myself to, cover gear that I like without emptying my bank account to cover it. So anytime it's sponsored, that's great. But, with everything going on, sponsors are going to get less and less. And I've already been saying this for the past 2 years, is I think as AI takes over and jobs continue to plummet, even the middle class jobs of filmmaking and photography are dying out. And it's because, brands are too scared. Their brands are too scared to spend money right now. And that's their right to not spend money if they don't want to. And the reality is there's a lot of shit happening in the world. There's a lot of real shit to worry about. A lot of people's mental health is just off the charts right now, in a bad way. A lot of people's finances are off the charts in a bad way. Our politics are off the charts. The American currency is on the line right now. There's a lot of stress in the world right now. And so when it comes to all this shit, part of me is like, who gives a fuck? Just make sure you're happy, make sure your friends and family are good, and take care of yourself, That's all that really matters at the end of the day. Life's short. Why waste it? So with all this YouTube shit, I'm just trying my best to, make things I can be proud of while doing the dance of the algorithm and the audience. I try to, I always say one for them, one for me. And I don't follow that exactly, but say if I have to do like 2 or 3 videos about gear that I do like, but I just don't really care to talk about it. Like the new Lumix cameras are like that. I really don't care to talk about the Lumix S1 II or the S1R2. Because I love them and I use them so much now. And they're like the cameras I've always wanted. So the last thing I want to do is fucking just talk about them. I don't want to spend any time doing it. I'm too happy just using them because they're helping me in my workflow a lot. And so, it's getting hard to pick and choose. This is going to sound disgusting, but it's getting hard to pick and choose between opportunities. I know that's like gross to say out loud, but that's just what it's turning into. And then also dealing with, I got onto YouTube to do these things, to make these projects, to, make a sustainable way of surviving through being a creative. You call me whatever you want. I don't give a fuck. I just like creating. And I forgot I was going there. Brain just blinked out. Let's go through the chat. Yes, the Eterna is going to be incredibly interesting. The readout speed, they really sped that thing up. I don't know how they sped up the readout speed on that so much. Well, I do know how. And those filters, there's a lot of filters on there, and I'm assuming that's why there's filters on there. Hey, dude, congrats on the doc. Question, you have shown a leather bag on your last few videos. It looks great. Where's it from? Let me grab it for you. Where is it? So, I believe you're talking about this bag. This is by, I think the brand name's Ona. Yeah, Ona. I don't know if you can see that. O-N-A. It's a little bit pricey, but it is extremely nice. Let me make sure I ain't got nothing bad in here. We're good. It's just a lens. So, you can see it's a proper... let me make this chat smaller. I gotta sneeze. It's coming. So you can see it's a proper camera bag. And I mainly just use this for my Leica stuff. But when I was in New York, where's... Oh, I don't know where it's at. When I was in New York, I had the S1 II in here, the Blazar anamorphic. I put some of the DZO lusters in here already. But yeah, mainly it's for the Leica stuff. And then I'll have, you know, like a vlogging camera in there. You can see I put my logo on there. Yeah, really nice bag. Jesus, that sneeze flared up my allergies. So that's a really good question. Let me repeat it here and blow this up. I'm not gonna try to say your name, but let me see. I am gonna try. DeAndrea? I think that's how you say it. I probably butchered that. Said, what made you go with a bunch of... Wait, did I say that right? Yeah. What made you go with a bunch of cameras instead of using one camera with all prime lenses for that camera on your dock? So, again, it was sprawled out through over a year. And over that year, I kept trying to find a camera that would just work. So I think the first camera I started off with was the R5C. So I started off with that camera first. On the music video portion, though, I had a full team for that. So they brought their red, I think it was a red Epic, and Atlas Orions. That's what we shot the music video with. And we did do an insert with the R5C. Oh, cool. I got his name right. Okay. And then after that first part of filming, I went to Peru for a commercial job, and our photographer got sick. And so the brand was like, Cam, you're a great photographer. Like, can you just do photography and video? And this was the first time I took a trip with only one camera. Literally the first and last time I ever did that. I don't know what else. Well, it's because we were going to Peru and we were going to have to be light on our feet. I had my own security guard and everything. And so in my mind, I was like, oh, this is going to be a really easy breezy shoot. I'm just going to take one camera. I'll be fine. Oh, God. The one time I did that was the time I needed fucking two bodies. So during that shoot, you know, I was trying to do stills and video, and the R5C was overheating and the batteries were dying, like literally within 20 minutes. And within the first hour of that shoot, and it was a full day, like we're about to have like a 10 to 12 hour day. Within that first hour, I was like, I'm fucked. Like, this camera fucked me. Well, I fucked myself because I didn't freaking take two bodies. But when I got home, the first thing I did a deep dive. And then that's when I found out how great Sony was doing with all their cameras at the time. So, sold my R5C. Again, I still lived in Austin at this time. And picked up a Sony A7R5 and a Sony FX6. And then, like a couple weeks after that, I was back on the road to film again for that mini doc. And then I used autofocus lenses for that. Went back home after a few weeks. And then I had to go to California for a job. And I was staying at my family. Literally, I was out in California for like a month just because I was going back and forth so much. And then I had to go to Arizona to film the last bit of the mini doc. And that's the one I don't remember what camera I used for that. Maybe it was just the FX6. Or maybe no, that was the FX3 then. I think I got the FX3 then. And I used the Great Joy on that. And after that third stint of filming, looking back, I was like, I could have just filmed the whole fucking not mini doc, the feature length doc on this setup. So that doc also is one of the reasons I left Canon, just because it was being an issue. And then how I found in love with more anamorphic, so that Great Joy was amazing. And then, yeah, so that's the reason why. It's just, I kept using systems that were causing issues for how run and gun the shoot was. So that's the thing on here on YouTube. You know, some people know me from the past as the guy who's always switching, always getting rid of cameras. In reality, it's like, who gives a fuck? Like, I wasn't switching cameras nonstop and blah, blah, blah. I was trying to find the right tools for the right job. Because over the past 5 years, I've been doing a little bit of YouTube. I've been doing music videos, like directing and shooting, producing, writing music videos, directing, writing, producing mini docs. Also doing fashion photo shoots, also doing test photo shoots, also doing commercial work, also directing commercial work and doing photography. I do a million fucking things. And so throughout all those segments, there's always a different camera that I need. One camera does not do everything that I need it to do. So YouTube just gets so fucking irritating sometimes with people worshiping camera brands and thinking it's all about the gear and this and that. It's like, at the end of the day, whatever works, works. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You get something that works. Will you consider making a course in editing, grading, or at least making a few videos? Yeah, so that's definitely, as I was saying earlier in the stream, I'm getting burnt out with being a YouTuber in terms of the YouTube things. So like all the YouTuber trips and YouTuber this, YouTuber that. I got on YouTube to be a creative, to be an artist, to chase my passion projects, which is happening. And so so some of those videos I want to get back to. I don't know if I ever would want to make a course. I'd rather just whatever people would like to learn from whatever I know. I would love just to give it out for free and have a brand paid for it. So this is the thing. Like, people want to bitch and scream about YouTubers making money. The view's going to pay my bills? No, that's not how this shit works. And if people are watching and they're asking for more content, then yes, that takes time and money to produce. If you're not getting views though, then sure, you might have the idea of like, oh, they're only doing this video to make money, blah, blah, blah. It's just, people are so stupid. Anyways, I rather not charge the audience. I rather not charge people to get the information. I rather keep the information free and charge the like a corporation who has money to spend to pay for my expenses and my bills and everything, while I get to give out free information. So, the past year has really been me trying to build my own formula to make more of that happen, to build those contacts, to build up brand respect amongst brands and letting them know, like, this is what I can give you, this is what I can provide for you, now here's my number. And so that's kind of what has been going on the past year. And the shift is happening. With that shift, though, I'm kind of falling back into my old self of, I've always hated attention. And I know a lot of people are like, yeah, blah, 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 this guy's so cocky and arrogant, blah, blah, blah. In reality, I hate attention. I love doing music. I really, 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 I can still do it. I have a lot of opportunities to write and to be in writing rooms and, to pursue music if I wanted to. And I think someday I still will. But even when I was like 18 doing music, I was still saying, like, I don't want to perform. I don't want to be on stage. I don't want the attention on me. I would love just to make music and just put it out and never have to do a show. But after being more in the music industry on this side of things, on the filmmaking and photography side, I know the live performances are what really brings in the money for artists, and that's what makes it sustainable. So, I don't know. I don't know. It's like, how do you... Because when it comes to art, part of art is like, you have to gain... you have to attract an audience to make your art sustainable, to live off of it. But with that comes the attention and the parasocialness to it, just all the stupid stuff that comes with it. Not saying you guys, the people that show up to like these lives and say hi in person and stuff, I see you guys literally as homies. Like, I literally, the way I'm talking to you guys right now, it's the same way I talk to a homie. That's how I see you guys. But there are sometimes interactions and moments of like just intensity where I'm like, ooh, like just be normal, please. So I'm learning as the channel grows. I'm learning how to deal with that. So mixed by 8 notes. This is my Rambler LUT in camera on the Pixis. So there's no color grade. It's just my LUT, I guess, technically. I guess that's a color grade. I appreciate that, Will. Yeah, I actually, again, so I saw F1 yesterday, and I was amazed by it. It was, I want to say a perfect film, but I think that's just because it inspired me. And one of the things that I've always said is to ignore the noise. And that's one of like the driving lines in that film is ignore the noise. And, you know, seeing a great film, if you're somebody that actually likes filmmaking, it inspires you to focus in. So yeah. What's up, Mighty Miggy? How you doing, brother? Thomas, that's my favorite thing about YouTube. It's nice to escape the madness of everything else going on. Just make some content that I'm excited about. Exactly. That's one of definitely one of my internal battles is you know, this changing landscape of YouTube really being a sustainable source to get your visions out. So how I've been treating YouTube is like my film school, basically. I've never made a feature-length film. I now have a feature-length documentary under my belt, but not a feature-length film. And, you know, with my own ADHD and just, you know, my brain works. I'll stop saying ADHD because I know people, blah, blah, blah. My brain, I've started a lot of scripts. I finished none of them because after a week passes, I'm not into it anymore. I'm like, cool, I got that idea out. Now I don't want to make it just because I don't think it's good enough. And so my issue is I put too much pressure on myself to making sure things are perfect and they're worthwhile and blah, blah, blah. And then I never take action because of that. And so I'm learning with my own brain, if I just make little micro films, like I did for my D0 RL Lusters, even something like that, I learn something every time, even if it's very simple. And, you know, you can have the filmmaking prudes or people who have failed at filmmaking and they want to be like, oh, I got IMDb credits and blah, blah, blah. All those dipshits. You know, they'll be like, oh, that's not a real film, blah, blah, blah. The reality is the directors, the greats of our time and the time before us, you know, a lot of them went to film school. A lot of them made shitty films. A lot of them have a lot of shitty projects. They'll never see the light of day because the internet didn't fucking exist. And I'm pretty confident if those directors were born in these days, they would fully fucking utilize YouTube and social media to get their projects off the ground. It's funny because anytime I talk to like a real deal filmmaker in Hollywood, it's a total contradiction to what you hear on YouTube. Like for lenses, for instance, how people are like, oh, like I used to get attacked so much over the Blazar lenses. Oh my God, I would get attacked like crazy. And now I've talked to several big Hollywood DPs and people in Hollywood who are using the Blazar lenses on big projects from TV shows and movies. And they fucking love it. And the thing they say, oh my God, the character has so much character, so much texture and grit, blah, blah, blah. That's why they fucking use it. Because it works for that project that they're doing. And so, but you'll hear on YouTube, oh, that person's a sellout because that lens is garbage. I'm like, oh my God. Who's going to be the bridge to connect the dots here between these two worlds? You have marketing telling us you need the best of the best, perfect, clinical, zero character. This is what you want. This is what you need. But then you have people in Hollywood that are like, oh no, we love character. Oh, that lens, we chose that lens because it's not perfect, and this lens was too perfect. And I'm just like, oh my God, like what's it gonna take for people to like start seeing eye to eye on this shit? Sorry, tangents. Rob, me yesterday has zero interest in LTZ, TV, or Prime. Me today, sign me up. Wait, Rob, wait. It's not free streaming. You can't stream them for free on there. It's for purchase or for rent. So it's on Apple TV and Amazon Prime, but you have to rent it or buy it. So yeah, I don't make any money if you buy it or rent it. I got nothing out of it. I don't even know if the damn thing's on IMDb. There's dozens of projects that my name should be on IMDb for, but I really don't give two fucks. I just don't care. I have a lot of opportunities to get more into the Hollywood world that are just kind of sitting there waiting, and I don't feel ready for that. I've been given the opportunity, like countless opportunities to DP projects, like pretty big projects, and I've turned them all down. Because I don't want to be a DP. Two, I do not trust myself to be a DP. I want to build worlds. I want to tell stories, whether I'm directing them or I'm just there as like a co-director. I don't even know. I just want to, tell passionate stories that I care about. So, yeah, IMDb. Yep, I can talk more about it. I kind of said everything on it already, but it's called White Buffalo: Voices of the West. Yeah, the EV2 is amazing. I remember the EV2 joke made it. They drop an S1. No comment. Definitely get you. I'm building my channel purely by buying and renting the gear I want to talk about, create with. And it's painful but fulfilling. Samuel, some advice. It's definitely easy views to make gear videos. You see a lot of smaller channels now are making like negative and like parasocial and just really angsty videos. And a lot of the times I find out those people reached out to companies and they didn't get any attention or any replies, so they go and make a hate video about the brand. You will get views, but you will not build an audience by doing that. And even speaking positively about gear, you can build an audience off of it, but it's not going to be the audience that you want in the long run. So my advice is, I use gear as keywords. And so, depending on what the gear video is, in reality, they're secretly tutorial videos. They're secretly passion videos. They're secretly rant videos, but they're disguised as gear videos. And again, that's all for the SEO side of things, search engine optimization. In a previous life of mine, I actually ran a little boutique SEO firm. I was not getting paid enough for all the work I was doing, but I learned a lot. So, I utilize some of that in YouTube. And it's not hacking or anything. It's purely all you are doing are knowing what words to use and how to formulate your titles and your thumbnails and your ideas in the videos themselves to kind of like hack the system almost. Or not the system, but the algorithm for the algorithm, not even hacking the algorithm. It's just giving the algorithm what it needs to know what you're talking about, the algorithm. That's dope. I appreciate it, brother. DeAndre, I'm sorry. Her. That's dope, though. John G, so far, you're probably only like 5 or 10 minutes into it. What do you think about it so far? Again, the story's there. The intention is there, but the quality is not there. Are you still using the S9? I see you using all types of Fujis and Leica, just wondering things. Yeah, I never really used the S9 for photography, though. To me, that's not really like my go-to photography camera. I use it for a lot of like BTS type work and stuff like that. Man, my knee's killing me. Oh, we got Rav Holly up in the house. What's up, buddy? Yeah, Joker's wild. What's sad is I got no BTS from that process, and that's one of the things I will forever regret. Even just for myself, just to see, the memories. Instant 360. Oh, actually, no. Did I buy that? Or did they give me that? I think it was the X3. I don't remember if they gave me that or if I bought it. But I do have some 360 footage when I was filming with Dougie Hall. We were in Bab, Montana, which is on the border of Canada. And it was freezing cold. It was so freezing. Most of the roads were iced over. And someone had to give me some spikes that I could put on my boots so I could just freaking walk around. But there was one time where we were nuts to butts. I was on a quad with Dougie Hall. Dougie Hall is like a freaking 6'6" freaking stud of an indigenous man. But he's wild. He's a wild man. He rides bulls and shit. Or not bulls. He rides Mustangs. Not Mustangs, Jesus Christ. Broncos. Bucking Broncos. And there was a time we're on the back of his quad, and we're trying to reel in these Broncos, and they're a little bit ornery, whatever the word is, and I'm like holding on with one hand, and the other hand I have an FX6 with, I don't even remember what lens I had on there, and he's going off freaking lumps and mud and snow, and I'm just holding on for dear life. I got that on the Insta360 camera. I think I did a reel on it. DeAndrea, so yeah, my advice is like, so the only time I'm really in my house doing a talking head is for like lives now. Or if it's like a deadline's coming up and I just don't have time to go out and film pretty footage. Outside of that, I recommend going outside, filming as many beautiful setups as you can. YC Imaging knocks this out of the park. He's the perfect fucking example for this. Because he'll even do like journalistic type videos where it's almost like a diary of like tips and tricks. But he shoots it so beautifully that it makes it enticing to watch, even though it's just literally speaking. Here's a good question. So how did the feature-length documentary get put on Apple TV and Amazon Prime? I did not do that myself. Again, Warner Music was a producer on it. And so once it was done, I was able to hand it off to them. They made award. I've actually won awards from this documentary. I haven't even talked about that. They did Cody Johnson's feature-length documentary as well. So I think this is their second time producing something like this. Now on the front end, they didn't produce jack shit. For the music video, they put in a portion of the budget, but I didn't really make any money off the music video because we basically put it all back into the video. And in the mini doc, I really didn't make any money off that either. But let me grab an award so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. So, oh, these things are heavy. So, I lost track how many awards it won, and every time I see anybody from Warner or any of the talent that was in it, they're all like, oh, what'd you think of that award? Or that award, or that award? I was like, what? Like, I didn't even know we won all those. Like, what the fuck? So, I'm missing a bunch of trophies. We'll start with the third place. So, these are from the Telly Awards. And, oh, crazy. Like, again, guys, I'm not the type, like, say if I made a feature-length film, once it's out and it's ran its course, I would just move on. Like, I'm not the type of person to like harp on things I've done and blah blah blah. Again, this mini doc or not, it's a feature length doc. This I'll just call it a fucking documentary. Jesus, Cam. This documentary has been out for like 2 years now. I just haven't talked about it. I guess that's the ADHD brain. But this is a Tally Award right here. I got third place for cinematography, which I think is personally hilarious because, wait, what year's on there? 2024. So I find this hilarious because, again, in the theater big screens, like giant theater screen, that cinematography was nothing to be proud of. But I think what people see when they think the cinematography looks beautiful in it, I don't think it's my shots. I think it's purely the landscapes. The subjects on camera are beautiful human beings, not in a shallow sense, but in a stoic sense. And then my color grade, I'm decently proud of the color grade on it. I had a camera match multiple different cameras, and overall, definitely looking back, I would have done a more mature color grade. I don't know. I would have to watch it again. Maybe I'll watch it tonight. It's been a while since I've seen it. So anyways, that's third place from the Tally Awards. I have no idea if that's good or not. Again, I don't pay attention. I live under a rock, and I prefer it that way. But then this was the silver. This is the second place for directing. So this is second place from the Telly Awards for directing. White Buffalo presents Voices of the West. So this one, I'm definitely proud. I'm proud of all of it, I guess. Slowly in time, become more proud. I'm very hard on myself. So even though I'm not super proud of the final results of the look and the quality, I am proud to have finished it, and I'm slowly getting more and more proud to have these awards. But yeah, second place at the Tally Awards for directing. And it's pretty cool. So I should ask them for my other awards. I need to flex on some motherfuckers. Now I'm saying. Ted B said, "You're calling your short YouTube content simple, but I can tell you, put a huge amount of prep and work into it. But about losing interest in the day after a week is a common creative struggle." Yeah, it's this is why I love YouTube so much, though. And that's the crazy part, is I can imagine a future where nobody really cares about putting out a feature-length film in theaters, but more so producing their own project and putting it out themselves. I can really see that future happening. I even think big directors might even start going that route. Because imagine if you're a big director with a lot of pull, with a lot of motion, and you produce your own project and you put it out yourself and you're able to collect every dollar off of it that you can reinvest into the next project. I see that as a totally plausible option. Everybody bragging about IMDb credits and blah, blah, blah. None of that's going to matter in 5 to 10 years, sadly. And honestly, guys, anybody can get an IMDb credit. Studio One Live. Oh, Studio 11, sorry. Kim, I think your virtual writer rooms in the past live stream was amazing. There's definitely something to that live credit process more for brother. Yeah, I really want to do that. Sadly, we didn't get to make that one because I was just running behind. Again, this is the issue with these YouTuber trips bullshit, is it takes up a lot of time. And so I'm going to start skipping out on a lot of them. I'm kind of over the whole YouTuber life. I just want to get back to creating, but yeah, that was really fun. I definitely, sorry y'all, this is bad drinking on the stream because I'm burping nonstop. I definitely think, where to go? Yeah, I definitely want to do way more microfilms, I guess we'll call them, where they're 90 seconds long. For my brain, it really eases the pressure I put on myself. It's called White Buffalo Voices of the West. I'm probably late to that chat. YouTubers have absolutely zero clue how real Hollywood productions work. I was working on a little Tubi feature Wednesday. We were shooting with an Arri Alexa, but they don't know what they are doing. Wait, You mean the people in Hollywood to know what they're doing, or is it a YouTuber film? I'm confused with what you're trying to say, brother. Carrie Jackson said, I understand that I have tons of IMDb work and only 2 credits on there. Yeah, see? IMDb is not like the end-all be-all, people. What's your shooting schedule look like? For example, do you record on certain days to post on other days so you're not working all the time? No, bro, I'm not that organized. Jesus, I wish. I film when I can. I film when I have the mental capacity to. YouTube has really hit my ADHD pretty hard. Commercial work, it was getting hit hard because as more responsibilities come up and more pressure comes up, the worse someone's ADHD can get. And the saving grace for that, though, is having clients and having deadlines. You can't fuck up or you won't get booked again. So with that, I was still able to get a lot of shit done. But with YouTube, the deadlines aren't as serious, or maybe they are and I just don't take them as serious. And so it's hard for me to get things done. I think if I had an editor, I'm still looking for an editor, but it's hard because I'm even scared to find an editor because of how spastic my filming is. I could do 2 big filming days where I'm out for 12 hours filming for multiple videos, and then for the next week I don't film shit. And so you can imagine how spastic that is for an editor. Kind of similar to how I made that fucking documentary. Hit that like button. How you landed in your current shooting style? Did you start replicating other styles first? I don't even know if I have a shooting style, honestly. I just, shoot what I think looks decent. Definitely my big influences are Tarantino, obviously. Who else is there? There's another person. Jesus, my brain. Robert Rodriguez. Like all the nitty gritty directors, I really idolize. And I don't use that word lightly because I hate the idolization of content creators and social media people and all that. But yeah, when it comes to Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez, those are my dudes. Those people really fucking, Tarantino, I love because of his standout uniqueness. He's not scared to be himself, and he's the opposite of cookie cutter, and I love that. Original. Same with Robert Rodriguez, but the difference is Robert Rodriguez is all about making it happen in the most nitty gritty way, using problem solving and creativity to get a project done with less. And I absolutely love that. But yeah, I don't know if you meant cinematography wise or something. I don't know. Again, I'm not really a cinematographer, or at least I don't call myself one or see myself as one. Yeah, YC Imaging is the fucking GOAT. Yeah, Volandis is an amazing storyteller. I would really love to see Volandis direct a feature-length project. So we're filming on the Blackmagic Pixis 6K with the Blazar Mantis 25mm. Sadly, I think they sent me an amber coating version. So these are the flares on here. Again, this is probably some of the first footage that you guys are seeing from the Blazar Mantis here. Pretty dope. Since this is a 25mm though, you're probably not going to see too much character on there. Let me rack focus to MIMS. I'll show my M11 again. So you guys can see the focus fall off there. I feel like the bokeh isn't as prevalent on this, but again, it's a wide angle lens. So most wide angle anamorphics don't have a strong presence of like that waterfall bokeh. I will say Atlas's Mercury's wider angle lenses are great. There's a lot of character while still being sharp. Am I out of focus? There we go. Wait, am I still up? What am I doing? Wrong way. There we go. Mark Taylor asks, any specific bits of advice to get the ball rolling for solo freelance cinematography? I don't know. Again, I don't really see myself as a cinematographer. I guess I do have advice though. Shot deck. I don't think people realize that a lot of even like Hollywood films, they have references. References being, like moments from other films, shots from other films that they want to recreate, but in their own unique way. That's most of art. Most of art is people being inspired by other art and repurposing it in their own unique ways to the point where people can't even tell what the original inspiration was. But people that are in depth with it would probably be able to tell. So yeah, shot deck. Shot deck is basically a bunch of screenshots from films and commercials and stuff. I'm gonna turn on my living room lights here. I maybe see a little bit more of the bokeh now. So yeah, shot deck really changed the game for me. That plus the little compact Zhiyun lights. I'm actually using my light right here, bouncing off of a. Let me show you. So this is my light collab with Zhiyun with the softbox going directly into just a little cheap Amazon 5-in-1 reflector. That's all it is. Oops, I went too far on the pan there. That's too far the other way. There it goes. So yeah, those Zhiyun lights really, because the big lights, obviously, you need power sources and you got to lug them around, put on giant C-stands and stuff. So these smaller Zhiyun lights really, they kind of killed a little bit of that laziness on really dedicating yourself to get a shot. Yeah, the whole IMDb thing's pretty ridiculous. I know so many talented filmmakers who, they don't give a... They're like, yeah, I'm on IMDb, who gives a fuck? Because guess what? They're actually out there making shit. Like, they're not making shit to get on IMDb. They're making shit because, they want to make shit. So people who are hyper obsessed with IMDb, I think it kind of goes and shows that's like their trophies. So, pun intended with my trophies here. Which, again... as bragging rights, I think this is awesome. But outside of that, I'm like, So, and who cares? No one fucking cares about my trophies. Rev Hollywood saying, small indie productions, indie commercial from large unit productions are two totally different worlds. There's very regimented formula for productions, and almost indie features don't have a clue. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to indie films and stuff, I think everybody's just trying to figure it out. But then definitely when you get to the high end, like Hollywood and stuff, that's people on top of their game. Sergio, I still am doing my filmmaking competition. I have so much shit to figure out though. I haven't done my fucking taxes yet, guys. My ADHD has been next level hindrance in my life. But yeah, so I need to figure out if I keep it in the States, I can give away $10,000. But if I do worldwide, I don't think I could give away $10,000, but I could do $10,000 in giveaways. So, or prizes, I guess we'll call them. So I'm going to figure that out. I'm leaning on going with the prizes. Like maybe getting like a Lumix S1 II, a whole Blazar set of lenses, just like a whole filmmaking kit. That's worth $10,000. Damn, Rev. I didn't know you were in it like that, brother. Problem solving. That's why I should call myself a problem solver rather than a filmmaker. I mean, yeah, even when I was doing all the commercial fashion work, that's all it was. Like, I just fucking pointed my camera in the right direction. But where I was really getting hired is when shit hit the fan and I was able to step up and still get the job done. And that happened multiple times. And that's how I would go from being hired to do just stills or just video. And then on the next shoot, I was basically a producer on the shoot where I was directing the whole shoot, not having to touch a camera. Just because, you know, I could run a team, I could get a team together, I can problem solve, I can keep the ball rolling, I could get everything that we need to get somehow within the time limits. We should put that on a t-shirt, huh? In one of the mountains there, try to film LA in location, but I haven't found what I'm looking for. Yeah, I mean, up in the SoCal mountains, there's a lot of those. But none really stick out in my mind. There's a lot of A-frame cabins up there. But I didn't even know it's been off for over an hour, 16 minutes. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll do a film. Man, I got a fucking mosquito bite. God damn it, they love my skin. Yeah, I might do a video talking about this feature-length doc that I did. I just don't know how or what. That's been my dilemma lately. Is there's a lot of stuff I want to do, but I just don't know how to go about it. Because if I just, if I just title it what I titled this live, nobody's going to want to watch it. So I don't want to put like 1 to 2 weeks of time into producing a video that's going to get, 1,000 views. So a lot of the ideas and plans I have, I'm kind of just sitting on them until the perfect formula pops up on how to do them. I have no idea what you're talking about. On that note, I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Be safe this weekend. Make something. Even if you're just shooting dumb photos. Make something. Be creative. Be a part of the creative world and process. That's all. Peace.